It was a peaceful evening in a small, picturesque village nestled by the edge of a dense forest. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink as the sun began to set. In a modest cottage by the woods lived a young boy named Sam and his loyal German shepherd, Max. They were inseparable. Wherever Sam went, Max followed. Their bond was built on years of companionship, trust, and love, a bond that would soon be tested in the most extraordinary way. Sam was an adventurous 8-year-old with an insatiable curiosity about the world around him. Every day after school, he would explore the forest behind their cottage, always under the watchful eye of Max. To Sam, the forest was a magical place full of secrets waiting to be discovered. And to Max, it was his duty to protect his best friend in this enchanting but unpredictable world. One fateful evening, after finishing his homework, Sam decided to take a quick trip into the woods to chase butterflies and collect wildflowers for his mother. Max wagged his tail enthusiastically, ready to accompany him. The pair set off, with Sam skipping ahead and Max trotting close behind, his sharp eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of danger. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The golden sunlight filtered through the trees, casting a warm glow on the forest floor. Sam's laughter echoed through the woods as he darted after a particularly vibrant butterfly. Max, ever vigilant, followed closely, his ears perked and his nose twitching. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Sam became so engrossed in his chase that he didn't notice how far they had wandered from the familiar trails. Suddenly, the ground beneath Sam's feet gave way. He had unknowingly stepped onto the edge of a hidden ravine, camouflaged by thick underbrush. With a yelp of surprise, he tumbled down, landing with a thud at the bottom. Max barked frantically, racing to the edge of the ravine. He peered down to see Sam sprawled on the ground, clutching his ankle and wincing in pain. "Max," Sam called out, his voice trembling with fear and pain. "I'm hurt. I can't climb back up." The ravine was steep and surrounded by dense vegetation. The fading sunlight made it increasingly difficult to see. Sam's ankle was twisted, and he could barely move without sharp pain shooting up his leg. Tears welled up in his eyes as he realized how dire his situation was. He felt a knot of fear tighten in his chest as the forest began to feel less like an adventure and more like a trap. Back at the cottage, Sam's parents were beginning to worry. It was unlike Sam to stay out after sunset, and the forest could be dangerous at night. They called out for him, their voices carrying into the trees, but there was no response. Just as panic began to set in, Max, who had climbed back up to the surface, appeared at the cottage door, barking and scratching with urgency. Sam's parents opened the door to find Max pacing anxiously, his body language unmistakable. He darted a few steps away, looked back, and barked again, as if to say, "Follow me." His desperation was clear, and without hesitation, Sam's parents grabbed flashlights and followed Max into the forest. Max led them through the woods with unerring precision, his keen nose and instincts guiding the way. The forest, now shrouded in darkness, felt ominous, but Max's determination gave them hope. Every few minutes, he would stop to bark, ensuring they were still behind him. His unwavering resolve was a beacon of light in the shadowy forest. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the ravine, Sam shivered in the cold night air. The once magical forest now felt eerie and hostile. Strange noises echoed around him, the rustling of leaves, the distant hoot of an owl, and the occasional snap of a twig. Sam tried to stay brave, but his small frame shook with fear and pain. He clutched his arms tightly around himself, whispering softly, "Max, please come back." Just as despair began to creep in, Sam heard the faint sound of Max's barks in the distance. "Max," he called out weakly. The barking grew louder, closer, and Sam's heart swelled with hope. He knew Max wouldn't abandon him. When Max reached the edge of the ravine again, he barked even louder, signaling Sam's parents and the villagers who had joined the search party. The sound of human voices calling Sam's name soon followed. Relief washed over Sam as he realized help was on the way. With the help of a flashlight, Sam's father spotted him at the bottom of the ravine. "Sam, are you okay?" he called out, his voice thick with worry. "I'm okay, Dad," Sam replied, his voice trembling. "But my ankle hurts, and I can't climb up." Using a sturdy rope, Sam's father carefully descended into the ravine while the others held the rope steady. When he reached Sam, he wrapped him in a warm blanket and gently lifted him into his arms. Sam clung to his father, tears streaming down his face. "I was so scared, Dad. But Max found you. He saved me." "Max is a hero," his father replied, his voice breaking with emotion. Once they were safely back on solid ground, Sam's mother hugged him tightly, kissing his forehead. Max wagged his tail furiously, nuzzling Sam's hand as if to say, "I'm glad you're okay." Sam held on to Max, his small hands gripping the dog's fur, as if it were the only thing tethering him to safety. That night, as the family gathered around the fireplace, Sam recounted his ordeal. Max lay by his side, his head resting on Sam's lap. "I don't know what I would have done without you, Max," Sam said, stroking the dog's fur. "You're my guardian angel." Max looked up at Sam with soulful eyes, as if he understood every word. To Max, protecting Sam was not a choice. It was his purpose, his instinct, and his way of showing love. He didn't need praise or rewards. Sam's safety was all that mattered. Word of Max's bravery spread quickly through the village. Neighbors came by to praise him, bringing treats and pats on the head. But for Max, the greatest reward was seeing Sam safe and happy. Their bond, already unbreakable, grew even stronger after that night. In the weeks that followed, Sam found himself looking at Max differently. He saw not just a loyal companion, but a true hero. Every time he gazed into Max's warm, trusting eyes, he was reminded of the unwavering love and courage that had saved his life. It made him cherish their time together even more. Years later, when Sam looked back on his childhood, that night remained etched in his memory. It was a reminder of the extraordinary love and loyalty that animals are capable of. Max had taught him that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes, the greatest acts of courage come from those who cannot speak, but whose actions speak volumes. Even as Sam grew older, Max's heroism continued to inspire him. Whenever life threw challenges his way, Sam would think of that night in the forest and the brave dog who never gave up on him. Max had shown him the true meaning of love, a love that was selfless, fearless, and boundless. Life often gifts us with companions whose loyalty and love surpass all expectations. Max's unwavering bravery and dedication remind us of the extraordinary bond we share with animals. This story is not just about a dog and his boy. It's about trust, love, and the power of never giving up on those we care about. Have you ever experienced an act of courage or love from an animal? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's celebrate these incredible companions who bring light to our lives, even in the darkest moments.